A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms finds a new king on the Iron Throne, one who even fans of Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon probably haven't heard of. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms takes place almost 100 years after HOTD and about 100 years before Game of Thrones. For once in its brutal history, the Iron Throne seems pretty secure. No Targaryens are tearing and burning one another for their children's rights, and no Lannisters are murdering Baratheons for the seat. It's a relative time of peace, which means there must be some king of note upon a throne. Daenerys II is king during the events of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. The King of Westeros in A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is indeed a king of note. Daenerys II, or Daeron the Good, as he is called, is the 12th Targaryen to sit on the Iron Throne. Not many Targaryen kings, or queens, earn the good as a cognomen, more often being bequeathed the mad or the unworthy. Daeron II was the son of the previous king, Aegon IV, and half-brother to the bastard demon Blackfyre, who began a short-lived rebellion against the crown. Unlike his father and many of his predecessors, Daeron II was not a warrior, instead using diplomacy and wisdom to rule Westeros. Daeron II married Princess Miriam Martell, and eventually, thanks to his negotiating, Dorne submitted peacefully to the Iron Throne, and the last kingdom of Westeros was brought into the Seven Kingdoms. Though some were suspicious of his Dornish friends, small folk and lords alike were fond of Daeron II. How Daeron II is related to Daenerys Jon Snow. Daeron II is an ancestor of Daenerys Targaryen and Jon Snow, as almost every Targaryen in A Song of Ice and Fire is closely related. That's what centuries of incestuous relationships end up bringing after all. Daeron II is the father of Baelor, Bertie Carvel, and Maekar I, Sam Spruill, characters in A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. Maekar I became king, and you may remember Maester Aemon, Peter Vaughan, telling Jon Snow, Kit Harington, "My father was Maekar," first of his name in Game of Thrones Season 1, Episode 9, Baelor. Maekar I and Diana Dane had Aegon V, who eventually became king. Subscribe for deeper Targaryen Westeros insights. Join the newsletter to unlock clear, entertaining breakdowns of Westeros royalty and Targaryen lineage, connecting A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms to Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon for richer context. Subscribe. By subscribing, you agree to receive newsletter and marketing emails, and accept Valnet's terms of use and privacy policy. You can unsubscribe anytime. Aegon V and Betha Blackwood had Jaehaerys II, who became king and married Shira Targaryen. They had Aerys II, the Mad King, the father of Daenerys Targaryen through her mother, and Aerys II's sister, Rhaella. Aerys II and Rhaella also had Rhaegar, their first child. Rhaegar secretly wed Lyanna Stark, and the pair had a son named Aegon Targaryen. That babe was spirited away by Ned Stark, who hid his identity by claiming him as Jon Snow, Ned's bastard son, and so runs the long twisted road from A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms to Game of Thrones. 9.3, 10 A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms 10 stars 9 stars 8 stars 7 stars 6 stars 5 stars 4 stars 3 stars 2 stars 1 star. Like followed TVMA drama action fantasy. Release date January 18, 2026. Network HBO. Showrunner Ira Parker. 4 images. Close cast. See all. Peter Claffey, Esser Duncan Dunk, The Tall, Dexter, Saul Ansel Egg. Where to watch. Close. Where to watch. Streaming directors Owen Harris. Writers George R. Martin, Ira Parker. Franchises Game of Thrones creators George R. R. Martin, Ira Parker. Powered by Expand Collapse.